Well, hi there and welcome back to our channel. We are getting ready to go on a cruise tomorrow, a 21-day Caribbean cruise out of Boston. So we're flying out of Knoxville tomorrow to Boston to take that cruise. So I started thinking about this. Tanya and I have taken cruises for, I think the first one we went on was like 31 years ago. And we go on, we don't go every year, but we go probably at least one a year, sometimes maybe two a year, then maybe we'll go a year without doing anything like that. But I started thinking about this and I'm wondering how many of you plan your cruises or whether you just sort of wing it. And I started thinking about this. I looked at some figures and I thought, well, about how experienced cruisers are, and maybe that has something to do with how they plan or don't even bother to plan their cruises. So the Cruise Line International Association, which is sort of the main body for cruise lines, their statistics show that the average age of cruisers is 46. 36% of cruisers are under 40. And 34% are baby boomers like us or older. Okay, what does that all mean? Well, I'm thinking that these under 40 people are probably first-time cruisers. Not necessarily all the time, but I look to see, okay, what percentage of cruise line passengers are first-time cruisers? And it turns out about 27% of passengers on any given cruise ship are cruising for their very first time. So I thought about, about the excitement that Tanya and I had when we went on our first cruise together in 1993, I think it was, and how excited we were and how we just wanted to do everything. We'd never been on one. Oh, this is so glamorous. Now, in the last 30 years, cruises have changed. There was a formal night and, I wore a tuxedo and she had a beautiful gown and it was just so fun. And we did all these things and we went on excursions and we were in exotic, well, to us then sort of, the Caribbean even, exotic places. So at that time we were in that under 40 cohort. And so we thought, this sort of makes sense. But over the years, we've I don't want to say that we've gotten into a rut or we've become jaded or whatever it is, but maybe it is that because we've been to a lot of places and we've been on a lot of different cruises, that maybe now we're just we know what it is that we like and we just sort of more or less wing it and know what we like. And sometimes a lot of it is just kind of hanging around. And I thought, well, by golly, let's try and relive that excitement that we had 30 years ago. So here's the thing. I remember when we first went on our first cruises, I thought, oh yeah, was this fun? Yeah, this is pretty fun. Would I do it again? Well, I don't know. Maybe cruising is something I'll do when I'm 80. When I got nothing else to do. Well, I'm not that far from 80 right now, and so I don't know. I kind of, maybe I'm looking at it the way I did then. I don't know. I'm so confused. When you get old, well, our older travelers, which are most of our listeners, you understand these sort of mental conflicts you go through. Oh, brother, it's such a thing, but it certainly beats the alternative. Okay, so what I did was I thought, before I started thinking about activities and reminiscing, or at least going back to the way cruising for us used to be, I thought, okay, what will we do on this 21-day cruise? Well, it's the Caribbean. It's not the most adventurous, exciting place to go. We've been there, of course, a number of times before, but how can we make it exciting, or how can we make it really fulfilling? So I had first come up with this sort of introspective, navel-gazing program, the goals that I thought we would set for ourselves. So I thought, first of all, let's read a lot. I thought, well, let's have a reading project. I was born in 1948, and so I thought, well, let me go to the New York Times bestseller list in 1948 and see what were the books that people were reading then. And why would I bother to do that? Well, I wanted to kind of get maybe a little bit of an idea as to what was going on in the minds of my parents and adults at that time. And I should probably look at 1947 as well, or kind of in those years. But these were, years where I wasn't yet, I was born in 48, but I had no idea what was going on, probably, at least until I was 5. So I just wanted to get a, kind of a better sense for what people were thinking about. What was the mood of things, attitudes, and then try and maybe contrast and compare that to, what we see today. What I found was I've read one book so far that was on a bestseller list. It was by Irvin Shaw, and it was called The Young Lions. And the next one that I've just started is The Naked and the Dead by Norman Mailer, famous writer who was 25 years old. This was his first book, and it made the bestseller list. And one thing that I found is that both of these books so far, they're long. They're like at least 600 pages long. And it's wonderful writing. And of course, these were times when people actually read books. And that's what people did. They weren't distracted by television, by a number of other things. They went to the movies, but certainly there wasn't social media or anything like that. So they read books. What a novel concept. So, I've made a list and I've downloaded on my Kindle a lot of these different books from 1948. So I thought, okay, well, that's one of the things I'll do on the cruise. Another part, I'll make it a spacation. Vacation spa. Okay, so I want to sit in the sauna and the whirlpool, and I'm just going to pamper myself and just see how nice this feels. And then I thought, okay, let's make it a goal to meet at least 2 new friends in this 21 days that we, might want to have lasting kinds of relationships with. We've met some wonderful people on cruises and have maintained those kind of relationships over the years. So that's certainly doable. And then I thought, okay, in port destinations, let's do, physically active things. Let's take hikes. Instead of getting in a tour bus with everybody, let's do some hikes and get out there and enjoy where we are. Also, let's meditate a little bit and evaluate what's important. And at the end of each day, let's kind of evaluate it and say, oh, okay, what brought us joy today? What was really fun? Try to, really make this a meaningful experience. Okay, then I thought, okay, prioritize the 3 main things: diet, exercise, and sleep. Okay, let's do that. I suppose other things that you could do, if you didn't like any of those other things, if you were planning a cruise, I suppose you could do a movie marathon. You could download a bunch of movies to your device or, watch them on Netflix, something like that, and, things that you never had time to do before. But anyway, okay, that was that. Then I started thinking, well, wait a minute. That's not what I did 30 years ago, to really have a lot of fun. So I thought, well, why don't we start to do things? Let's do things that are offered on the ship that for the last 10, 20 years, we just haven't bothered to do because we think, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't play bridge. I don't want to do that thing. Do I want to go, skydiving or whatever? Let's find out. Okay, so I thought what we'll do is on this particular cruise, we will find out what the ship has to offer. There may be things that we have sort of dismissed, and for no good reason. We don't really go to the casino. We're going to go to the casino this time. Now, we're not going to be big time craps players, but maybe we'll play video poker or something. We'll immerse ourselves into that scene. Maybe we'll do the dancing with the DJ at midnight. Maybe there won't be anybody there. I don't know, but we're going to try it out. We're going to, instead of just turning the lights out at 10 o'clock or whenever our normal pattern is, let's find out. Let's find out what's going around in the ship. I'm not going to take a napkin folding class. I sort of I draw the line at that. But let's do that. So in the next few upcoming videos, I hope you'll enjoy it, and I hope maybe you can get some value out of it for yourself. We're going to go over a number of these things. I want to go over the ports that we visit, even though we may have been there before. Every place is always different. I want to concentrate on some of the food items, things that I know everyone is always interested in. and some of these other activities. So I hope you're as excited, or you will be as excited about this whole adventure as we are. And we'll get back to you in the next couple of videos. So thank you very much for watching this rambling thought process that I've gone through. But come and join us, and maybe we'll learn something together as we go cruising in the Caribbean. Thanks a lot for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.